Hi everyone, my name's Darpro, I'm a Sonic Adventure 2 Battle Speedrunner. Today we're going to look at this guy, King Boom Boom, everybody's favorite voice actor. So this is going to be called Fireball Skip, which is where we skip the section of the fight where he's supposed to throw a bunch of fireballs at you while you run around and just sucks away a whole bunch of time. So this trick saves 5 seconds. It's actually not as hard as it looks. It's pretty consistent once you learn what goes into it. And yeah, it's only the first section of the fight. This section right here is exactly the same as usual for a cycle. Nothing's different. So if you can do that and you can hit the ghost, you're done. You have this fight in the bag. So let's look at this real slowly. Starting off, you're going to see I immediately start holding up left. That angle right there. This is important. This is what's going to take you towards the ghost and through these rings. This trick involves you taking a hit at a specific time, and you're going to want rings. If you're going to take a hit, that's pretty important. It also helps to grab these particular ones, because if you fail and you accidentally get hit before you're supposed to, then you won't die. I've seen in the past some people prefer to just bait him and then grab a ring on the way back, but if you fail the trick and you get hit, then you die instead of being able to salvage it. So I highly recommend holding this angle. It just works the best, and will give you an option later for a backup strat if something does go wrong. So hold the angle, and the first thing I'm going to do is do a quick glide and a punch boost to get towards the ghost. Boom. And here's a punch boost, and this is going to be very intentionally through these rings. And when I go through the rings, it's going to tell me that I need to start turning around to bait him. And that will get the bite out of him. You want to wait until you get the ring, and then you react to it. And that timing just happens to work out perfectly. You may need to adjust depending on your own reflexes and input lag, but nah, that's life. So I'm just going to punch at him and get close to him, get in his radius of biting, and then immediately turn around. And your speed needs to be high when you do this, so the punch boost is critical. You cannot skip that step. So now he's bitten at me, and this is going to bait him into a high jump. This is why you can do this in story mode consistently. In an IL, you just hope that his first bounce is a high bounce, so you get underneath him and life's good. You need the high bounce for this to work. And it was found by Taco that you can manipulate him to do a high bounce by getting him to do that bite animation. So let's roll a bit forward here. What's really important is that I'm going to get into this corner right here, between his hitbox and the wall. And I want to get as close to his hitbox as possible, because he's going to float into us as we're digging. We're going to get in the corner and we're going to dig. And he has to float into us. So you cannot intentionally just fly into him. That's not going to work. You have to let him fly into you, and then that will cause the hit to work. You want to be as close to him as possible, because that's going to give you the most time you can get behind him. And you're going to want that time. If you dig too far away from him and he takes too long to float into you, it's either not going to work because you're not going to get behind him, or you will get behind him but won't have enough time to do anything, and then you'll just die. So I'm about to get into this corner as hard as I can and then just do an immediate drill dive dig. Boom. And now you can see I'm behind him. I've taken a hit. That's why you need the rings. And at this point you have to be eagle eyes, because the second I touch the ground, you want to dig. You need to jump and do a drill dive as soon as you touch the ground. You will not have much time to do this. But if you're sharp, it's really not that big of a deal. And once you get that dig, life is good. You've gotten all the hard parts. So we're just going to dig. Boom. And right here at the tip of this jump that you cannot currently see because I'm behind the hourglass, right at the top of this little hop out of the ground, you're going to do another drill dive dig. It's as simple as that. And right here, right at the tip of the second drill dive dig, you start holding upright. This is critical. Do not do it before that. Do not do it too late. Do it right at the tip of the jump. It's very important, but at least it's a really simple visual cue. It's pretty hard to mess up at the actual top of the jump. And as soon as we touch the ground, we're just going to punch. And the ghost spawns on us, and life is good now. You get this, you're done. You just first cycle him, and you're out of here with your 5 seconds in your pocket. So that was a lot of information. Let's go through that again slowly. And it's going to take a moment to process. So, hold the angle, glide punch boost towards him, go through the ring, turn around. Let him bite at you, turn around gently, get in the corner, dig. When you touch the ground, immediately dig. At the top of this hop, dig again. At the top of this hop, start holding upright, and when you touch the ground, you punch. And you're done. That's a lot of things moving in tandem, but once you get it down into a single motion, it's really not tough. I promise it's not. And it's very consistent. So if you have problems here, they're probably going to be in the dig timing or in the movement timing. So biggest thing here, like I said before, do not dig out of this corner. You want to be as far into that corner as you can get so that he spends as little time possible floating into you. That's what's going to save you. Once you get behind him, you need to absolutely watch for this dig. Like, I'm on the ground for frames here. The second you see that you're on the ground, immediately get drill diving and digging again. That's critical. If you can do that, you'll be okay. And then here it's just follow the cues. When you're at the top of it, not before, not after. If you have problems where you're getting a punch boost after the ghost and you're not hitting him, it means you're holding the direction too soon. So there is an obvious question here. If you do things too early, you get hit. You run towards him through these rings and then you just run straight into him. It happens. If you're not holding the right angle or your timing isn't quite good that day, that happens. So let's talk about what you do in that scenario. Really simple variation. Well, pretty similar. So, oh no, I got hit. I grab a ring, do whatever ring I want, I wait for him to come back out against me, and I just drill dive into the corner like I was going to do before. It is as simple as that. The good news here is that when you take a hit from him, he goes and does a high jump. So that's exactly what you need. So all you need to do is get a ring and go back to doing exactly what you were doing before. You have to do it a little bit by feel because his timing's going to be different, but everything else is the same. You get behind him, you use the exact same cues, do the exact same things, and everything is good. Let's look at that again slowly. See how long the media player takes to process this. So again, I'm going to hold more or less the same angle, but I'm going to screw up my timing and I'm going to get hit. In this case, I'm going to get lucky and grab my own dropped ring. You could grab one of the ones on the left side, you could grab one of the remaining ones on the right. It really doesn't matter. Oh, I grabbed the one on the side, that works too. So all I'm going to do is wait for him to finish his animation, then start walking back towards him, and go exactly for that same corner again. And everything here is identical. Dig the second you hit the ground, dig at the top of this hop, hold upright at the top of this hop, punch. Everything is the same. Everything. And this only loses a couple seconds. So it still saves time with the standard strat. It's still highly reliable. You just need to know that you can do it. But aside from that, this strat is really pretty simple. It's not that bad once you understand the bits and pieces that have to go into it. It's got a lot of moving parts, but aside from that, not too bad. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this little tutorial and give it a try and see how it goes for you. So, see you around Speedland.